Oh, well, what do we have here? It appears to be City Connection. Published and developed by Jalico. Is a name you haven't heard in a while, no doubt. It's apparently a platformer. I have never played it. So let's just give it a go. And see what we got here. Okay, we can go back and forth in our, car. Okay, we are collecting those. Okay, we can shoot, so I should have probably shot that car. You know, gotta figure it out a little bit. Hold on, I gotta increase the size of my emulation window here real quick. There we go. Everything was looking just a little too small. Okay, so this is an all-time classic where you apparently shoot cops. This is actually just Grand Theft Auto, before Grand Theft Auto. We have struck a cat, and I'm not sure if we just lost a life or if we did what we needed to do. If I had to guess, though, I would say that filling out the squares here is worth it. Okay, we hit that cat again. So let's see. Okay, that is the game over, so don't hit the cat. I mean, the music for hitting the cat sounded far more, welcoming than a game over sound should. So it looks like, you know, we can just kind of just run forward for a little bit. Ah, no, we should have turned around, because we couldn't outrun that cop car. Okay. You know, it's okay. It takes some attempts to... I tried to shoot it. That was foolish of me. It takes some attempts to, you know, get your bearings on a new NES game. It takes some attempts to get your bearings on any kind of game that you haven't played before, actually. If you don't mind me John Maddening you for a second. I did it officially in my Madden 08 playthrough, which I feel like a real dork for playing the PS2 version. It's the only one I had. Come on, I hate the cats. Completed a perfect 19-0 season with the Browns, won the Super Bowl, and then went on to embarrass the NFC and the Pro Bowl right after that. So yes, it was a very successful playthrough. Ooh, you can just kind of finesse your way over like that. Okay, let's see. Can we beat one level of City Connection? Shooting the cat means nothing. I tried to jump over it, but I was mid-animation for turning around. Okay, it's gonna take me a little bit to figure this game out. So bear with me here. I don't know how to get up to the top again, honestly. It seems a little tricky. You bastard! That thing comes out at you way too quickly. I can already tell that's going to sour any opinions I had about this game. Okay. I just wanna... Oh, come on now. So you're asking, are you really already getting salty? I'm like, well, you know, a little bit. I've been pre-salted today, you know. I tried to jump, it didn't let me. Okay, I am clearly misunderstanding something about these controls. And it's becoming dire. I like how the bullet just kind of like floats in time. Like, I'm pretty sure I've got the right concept for what you're supposed to do in this game, you know, just fill in the ground, the road. Okay, was able to jump that time. Not that time, though. Okay, so the jumping timing is really messed up by that animation of your car kind of bobbing forward like that. Yeah, okay. I don't know how to get past the cat there, because when you turn, you then kind of hike up like that. And then things... And you have to wait until that hike to jump. Because if you try to jump before that, it doesn't work out. So I'm not completely certain how to finagle it as of yet. I hope to figure that out. And then, you know, the issue that I don't know how to, get back up to an upper level. No! Is there something I'm missing? Is there a way to counter the cats that I'm not aware of, or is this game actually just, like, the kind of game that looks at you and says, "Get bent, sucker"? Maybe they're not cats at all. Maybe those are, like, actual human babies. Okay. I'm amazed I didn't, you know, just die right there, but, okay, so far... I feel like it's so good, but you know, I haven't gotten up to the, I don't know how to get back up to the upper levels, still. Say this how you're really gonna play me right now? Ah, I am out of shots as well, so that's no good. This is something else. Like, do they expect you to die multiple times? Is it the only way to actually beat a level? Oh no, we have no shots. Now that I know you can't just spam your shots, things have gotten way uglier. Okay, I feel like that was a high jump. Oh, we gotta time it right, again. The timing of these jumps! I was gonna say, just get me out of cat hell. Then that happens. I have to figure this out. You know, I'm not gonna be happy with myself until I've, cracked the code of City Connection. We're putting a lot of miles on this thing right now. We have a little bit more. Oh, I guess that's oil, not bullets. Of course. How? Okay, okay. I made a jump. That's all well and good. That sounded like kind of a warning. And I'm nervous about that. Like, can I only put up a certain amount of miles? Hey! I beat level 1! And got some bonus points too, hooray. I think I heard the original arcade version of this game. If this is an arcade game. Or maybe it was just the Famicom version, I don't know. Either way, I know a version of this game actually had a female protagonist, and everyone was like, oh, that's one of the first female protagonists in gaming. If it is a Famicom release that came out before Athena, then wow, that may very well be true. See, this is the easy part where you just none of this game is the easy part, actually. But I do hope that I can... I feel like I'm figuring out a little bit more. Ever since I learned how to high jump, you just gotta, like, press up on the D-pad when you jump. And I think that that's how you do it. It's working for me so far. Unless I'm just taking an extra step that I don't have to, which is also possible. There we go! You really gotta... Ooh. You gotta lead into your target, though. Like, it's not easy jumping in this game. Don't think for a moment it is. You know, you gotta give yourself some headway, or else you just bump into the ceiling like that. Come on, man. There we go. Just like that. Alright. Can you actually, like, obtain that balloon? It looks like an obtainable item. Or, you know, the cat just happens again. Why? Why with the cat? If you ask me to change one thing about City Connection, I'd say remove the cat. It's just, it's hell. I gotta say, I do kind of like the animations, you know, of the car, like, just trying to, there we go, that's good. The car turning is a goofy animation, and it does give the game some character. I almost said much needed character, but I guess the game doesn't have a lack of character. Come on, man. Oh, shit. See, I was hoping to avoid that. Okay, you can in fact collect the balloon. I don't know if it actually does anything for you. But we have it. Upset about that. You know, like, I was there feeling like I was doing everything right, and then that thing just spawns again. It's like, However, you still exist. And I was like, oh, well, you got me there. Nothing is certain in this game, that's for sure. Nothing is guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to have a good run. It's like, oh, you think you've gotten good at City Connection? It'd be a shame if we just, ruined all your dreams. I'm impressed with myself with that, though. Look at, oh, the perfect timing. Go. Definitely got to get up there, you know. We don't want that entire floor to be not covered at this point, you know. Okay. We're figuring it out a little bit more, you know. I think I've got my bearings here. It's just those first few attempts when you're trying to figure out the controls and you're going, well, what is happening? It's a little rough at that point, but fortunately, the cats do appear to despawn at a reasonable rate. You can just kind of get slightly off the screen, and they're generally out of your hair. Is that it? What am I missing? Where is the last bit of garbage? No, 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 no. Oh, shoot. It's right there. It's right there. Which means I gotta go all the way like this, up like this, up a level here, and then watch this. We do a nice little turnaround here, jump over, and just like that. Okay. Good. I still died once, which, you know, I prefer to avoid, but it's becoming a little more of a tangible game experience for me here. What do I mean by tangible game experience? I mean, I understand, like, the basics of what's going on, you know? I am... It doesn't feel like just a kind of nightmare Twilight Zone where nothing makes sense anymore. Don't love being down here, though. I'll just, I'll be very upfront about that. You know, as opposed to somebody who would hide their feelings about where they want to be in a level of City Connection. Be open with everyone, man, you know, don't just let your feelings fester. Everyone needs to know what you feel about City Connection. It's the only way that healing will happen. Oh, come on. Okay. It's kind of, you know, once you realize what you're doing, it's actually, the game can put you in a little bit of a trance. Like, it's... You just gotta stay on your toes from the bullshit like that right there, and then once you've got it figured out... It's okay, actually. Oh, come on now. Yes, yes. Okay, nope. I know. Real great commentary. Yes, yes, no, no, yes. I gotta go back for that end at some point. Oh, I'm jumping a little too early. Continuing to jump too early. There we go. Get the cat out of here. You fun ruiner. I think that's just like something that I'll call things now like that. Fun ruiners. Gameplay elements that just, squash you dead in your tracks. Look at that though! Level 3! With one balloon. This soundtrack is a little, you know, a little corny. I'll give you that. Wouldn't call it anything that I'm gonna be chomping at the bit to listen to. I'm not gonna go download MP3s of the City Connection soundtrack. It sounds like, you know, the foreign idea of what, like, 50s American rock and roll sounds like. Like that opening part. It's got a very, you know, bring your vintage car down to this vintage diner and, reminisce about the good old days that you weren't alive for. It's the vibe I get from it, at least. Oh my god, I can't believe I got out of that hellhole. That was... that was... that was a little scary, honestly. You can tell, because I'm at kind of a loss for words. See, that's when you start to feel good about a game, too, is you're like, yeah, I just got myself out of a pickle. I now understand the basics of the game, enough to, survive the slightest amount of opposition. I think this is the last bit. Yes! Doing great. Doing fantastic. See, this is another thing that I like about this series is, my very first impressions with the controls, I was like, what is going on? This is bad. But because I'm forced to sit down for at least an hour with each game, you know, I have to give it a little bit more of a, chance. I can't just be like, wow, well, my literal first impression was garbage, so now I'm gonna turn it off because I don't think I'm gonna like it. Like, maybe I'll wind up really enjoying this by the end of it, or maybe it'll be one of those games where its flaws run deeper the more you play. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Oh, come on. I should have shot him. I keep hoarding oil. Big time oil hoarder. And now, oh, I still have it even after death, so that's kind of nice. Speaking of oil hoarding, I don't know if you've ever played the game Turmoil. I believe it's only on PC. It's basically like an oil tycoon game, where you're in the early oil rush, and it's, you know, of course, very full of satire and whatnot. Oh, I got very greedy, and the end result was just completely eating it. Like that, I shouldn't have tried to go for that. That was bad. Getting the timing just right. Very difficult. Okay, okay. But the more I'm playing this one, the more I get it. And the more I'm like, okay, I can stand to go another round. Which is, that's an exciting thing to happen, honestly, you know? I love when my opinion turns around on a game. I at first thought the controls were, like, just garbage, awful, wacky daddy. And now that I'm used to it, I'm like, maybe this is alright. Yeah, give me the balloon. I don't know what it does, but it counts in your post-mission screen, so hey. It's gotta be good, right? Get mucho points right there. Now we are still missing a little bit. I think it's on this plane. Yes, this entire area, actually. And then this should be it. Yeah! Didn't die once! See? Things are picking up. I came into this game expecting nothing. I played it for 5 minutes and expected awfulness, and now I'm like, yeah, get me to that next level. I need to make things happen here. Okay. We're not, you know, we're not getting this level done with the most, elegant pacing. That, I mean, you know, we're, we're not doing it very, optimized. Is of course what I mean. I don't know I don't know why you'd expect optimization, you know, I've never played this game before. Wonder what a City Connection speedrun would look like. Rest in peace to Apollo Legend. Mild controversies he's been engaged in aside. A life lost too soon, regardless. Speaking of speedruns. Rest in peace to MF Doom as well. That came out of nowhere. One of the, I don't know if he's necessarily one of the grandfathers of abstract hip-hop, but I've always seen him as such. Died way back in October. His, wife just made it known. Wife, girlfriend, I'm not sure. His significant other made that known. I know Doom's son 14-year-old son died 3 years ago, so that's just a series of tragedies for that poor woman. And of course, the hip-hop world has lost an all-time great as well. MF Doom, pretty much universally beloved by anybody who even kind of enjoys hip-hop, you know? Certainly, that was one of the first hip-hop albums that I ever gave a chance, was, Mad Villainy. Which I believe was MF Doom and... was it with Madlib? No. It was it was MF Doom and Danger Mouse. That's right, because they were referred to as Danger Doom for that project. So, yeah, I've got some history with Doom. Nothing but positive, as most people's is. Don't know who else is gonna rap about food all... like, constantly now. I mean, we still got Action Bronson. He raps about food. But no, just, sad in general. Obviously, you know, people might say, oh, 2020, so many famous people died. It's like, famous people die every year, man. It's like, 2020 is a garbage year. I'm not gonna try to refute that, but this is... That was terrible cat placement right there, by the way. I take major issue with that. That was me feeling like, again, I was kind of, on a roll, doing everything right, and then the game just was like, what if we told you no, though? But, yeah, I mean, that's life, you know? Life has to equal death, and, people die every year. I think people are just kind of compounding the celebrity deaths this year into 2020, which has already been, I know, a pretty abysmal year for many. It hasn't been my worst year ever, honestly. Like, I had some ups and downs, but all in all, I've coped with it remarkably well, I believe. It's just been a nice opportunity to, you know, stay at home, play some video games. Yeah, had all my concerts canceled, and that sucked, but look at the big picture. I have a job. I get to make these goofy videos for everyone. Things could be worse. Alright, next level. Here we go. I'm sitting here playing City Connection on January 1st, you know? It's the first game of 2021. How can we not be excited for that just a little bit, you know? I could have given it to Ghostbusters for the Master System, but I refuse to give that any kind of, oh, come on. I get that, you know, you could make the argument that this game would be too easy without those terrible things getting in your way, but I don't know, sometimes too easy is better than actively, like, punishing the player for playing. And maybe I'm being overdramatic about that. Maybe nobody else agrees that that's what those things do. Maybe nobody else is saying anything because nobody else has played City Connection. That I think is more likely. By the grace of things despawning pretty regularly, though, it seems like a game that is possible to accomplish some things in. You know, there are some games I play and I'm like, well, I'm never making any progress in that, which is also dramatic because literally any game on the planet you can make progress in. Oh, I messed that up. Big time. I was trying to hop back up there. Oh yeah, I still have like an entire little bit of road that I haven't covered on the upper deck here, so I gotta get back up to that upper deck. Eesh. Awful. I didn't have time to react to that one. If I, you know, maybe if you got good and weren't so terrible at this game, oh, you got me. I'm a 1 out of 10 kind of gamer, you know? Just no chops. Don't think for a second that you'll get me all angry if you insult my game playing abilities. It's a relatively meaningless set of skills, all in the grand scheme of things. You insult my calligraphy abilities, though, then we're gonna have problems. Kidding, I've never participated in calligraphy. Yeah, that's bound to get some people mad. He's never done calligraphy. Hate that. You know, the object is to kind of not die early on, so you gotta stock for... You gotta stock of lives when you're in the unknown later levels. You got me there. That is indeed what the plan should be, but... You know, I'm... just kind of taking it my way. And yes, I do mean to reference the Limp Bizkit song. Limp Bizkit get a lot of shit, and, like, you usually for good enough reason, but honestly, my way, it's a jam. I feel like people have been kind of, turning around on Limp Bizkit too lately. Like, nobody's calling them, like, the greatest of all time, or, like, hidden brilliance or anything like that, but I've been noticing a lot of people being like, alright, it kinda slaps. Like, when it boils down to it, Limp Bizkit's, the actual members of that band are all incredibly talented. I used to say everyone except Fred Durst is talented. But, you know, the more that I think about it, I'm like, it takes a charismatic frontman to make the whole thing work. And while he may be, you know, an extremely goofy nu metal white boy rapper, and that may not impress many people right off the bat, there's still no denying that you have to have a sense of personality to you to make that work, you know? Like, if he were truly bad at what he did, Limp Bizkit wouldn't have had a career. You can make the counter-argument that, oh, well, lots of artists who were terrible had very long and, like, illustrious careers, and I'd say, yes, that is true. But even those artists that I myself would call bad, again, they cracked the code, if nothing else. Okay. Where's my train of thought now? Not really anywhere, you know, I'm just kind of letting the sound sink in, letting the graphics sink in. Again, that's a lie, I just ran out of things to say, but it's a convenient way to make myself sound a little more competent. It's like, oh yeah, that's intentional, so you can, take in the atmosphere and the moods of the game. Oh, that was the last bit. Neat. Alright, now we turn around and get the other side. Oh, come on! Ah! If you could, like, shoot those things, it would be another matter entirely, but you can't. And that's what makes it all so infuriating when you run into one of those. It's like, sorry. Like, yeah, you can jump over them, but if you're midair and one just kind of spawns from out of nowhere, you're a little bit screwed, you know? Please despawn. It did despawn, so that's good. Now, do I have enough room to make this work? Yes, I do! Oh, boy. Oh, hate that. I know, I'm just concentrating now. I just want to get past this level again. Don't be afraid to shoot some oil every now and then, you know? There we go! There we go! For once, I just saved the bottom layer for last and it worked out. Oh, 2 balloons that time! You know, I still don't really know what that brings to the table, but I'll choose to be excited about it. I've always had a, you know, very tumultuous, feelings about people who say like, oh, you choose to be happy. I'm like, in a way, yeah, and in a way, no. Like, there are some things that are just going to make pretty much anybody very unhappy if they happen to them, and there's a good chance that you don't choose for any of that to actually happen to you. People are like, oh, well, you're just choosing to be upset about it. It's like, hey, yo, what if my, you know, like, what if my wife dies? I don't choose that. Well, I don't think people typically say that sentence if something like that happens, and I think people are a little more, understanding with the fact that, hey, sometimes garbage things do in fact happen, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. But I think another big one is, like, I especially see this with people with, like, depression and stuff. People are like, oh, well, you choose to be sad. It's like, no. Miss me with that. People with, okay, come on, cats. There was no escape. They were spawning at such a rapid rate, I couldn't get up to one of the upper levels, which is where I had to go. You just chose to lose, man. Chose to lose. I hate them. I hate them. They single-handedly, like, they deduce points from my overall feelings about this game, just with their very presence. Which, hey, impressive. If you can put an element of your game in that I hate so much that I think the overall game is actually worse for it, well then, hey, you've clearly put a lot of work into making that be the most obnoxious gameplay mechanic ever, so hats off to you. Right up there. I shouldn't be alive. I have no lives left. I should have eaten it right there. Okay, new level, one we haven't ever seen before. Immediate cat. It's a shame, because I love cats as animals, and this game is, you know, sullying their good name. For all of the, criticisms that people have had of the, current White House administration. The one that I, like, never got was people being like, there's no dog in the White House! I'm like, sounds good to me. Which just makes me sound heartless, you know, everyone's like, you don't like dogs? I'm like, as a matter of fact, no I don't. I'm a big cat person. I have 3 beautiful cats, and they are an absolute joy. The little freaks. These cats do not bring joy. I like how it's still there, too. It's like, just despawn already, you rat bastard. Or I suppose, you cat bastard in this case. I tried to turn around and get cute with it, but no, I just crashed into it in midair. Would have just run into the cat anyway, so either way, you know, I was destined to die. Born to die, world is a fuck, kill 'em all, 47 million dead cops. You know, however the meme goes. I'm thrilled. Except minus any of the things that would actually thrill a person. Wow, well, that was goofy. Okay. What a terrible level 1. That, you know, I was here thinking like, yeah, I've figured this game out. I can completely dominate it now. And then it's like, ooh, but you forgot the regression period, my friend. Oh, that's right. I guess I did. You got me there. Oh, look at that. That was a perfect jump. Get out of here. Thank you. Thank you for despawning. No, I should have kept going. I tried to turn around midair. I hate them. I hate them so much. It's such a black mark on the game. Like, if the player is doing well enough to where they're not dying, just let them be good, right? Just say, alright, you figured the game out, you're becoming very good at it. Like, look at Pac-Man. Pac-Man was designed to where you cannot be cornered. Like, you can avoid death if you're good enough. That's what we call supreme game design right there. Okay, now we turn around right here. Go down to here. And then we just drive straight for a little while. Just like that. We still lost a life, but I need a drink. Wish I could pause in the in-between screens. Okay, that's the extra life sound. Very good. I know, it looks like I went out of my way to hit it. I got tangled up. You know, sometimes you hit inputs that you didn't mean to hit. No need to shame the victim here. Felt like I should have maybe... Oh, sorry. Feel like I maybe should have hit that platform there. And again, you know, the story of... the name of the game, that's what I was looking for. The name of the game there is to just not get into that situation in the first place. They say prevention is the only guarantee. It's the best cure? I don't know what they say. You know, just like how celibacy is the best, like a form of birth control. Oh, okay. It's like saying that not eating is the, best diet. I understand the absurdity of what I just said, you know, obviously, but sexual activity is not mandatory for the human body to function, don't worry. It was a joke! I understand. Understand how this all works. I've just always hated that line, you know? It's like, oh, okay. Little chuckler here, it's like, oh, just don't have sex and you won't have a baby, easy, you don't need birth control. It's like, bruh. I'm married, sir. You have no moral high ground on me. I know, what a weird champ topic I just got on, you know? You know, the concept just came to my mind, and instantly my mind said, man, what a bullshit sentence. I need to call that out right here and right now. That's how most of this happens, you know? In those in-between periods where I'm not saying anything, my brain just, like, formulates something that I've heard someone say in the past, and I'm like, I hate that sentence. I need to publicly denounce that sentence right now. The very edges are, like, the most brutal thing about this game. Feeling the edges without falling down. Backgrounds are nice. And, you know, the sprite work is, I would call, serviceable. Nothing more. Can we just get up, please? Do I have to turn around? Like, am I never gonna make it up there if I go that direction? Fine, we'll turn around then. We'll buy into your sick games, City Connection. Good. Good, good. I remember one time when I was in high school, I was not particularly a ladies' man, and everyone knew this, and it was fine, you know, like, I maintained a sense of humor about it and whatnot, and a friend had, stashed a, super just, like, scuffed brand of, condom in one of my jean pockets as, like, a joke, because they knew I would never use it. I would never have, never have any use for it. And, my mom found it once, and, she didn't even say a word, she just walked up to me, like, with it in her hand, and just stared me down, and I was like, yeah, probably put there by a friend as a joke. And she for some reason didn't believe it. I was like, yo, what? I am at home, like, 98% of the time, and if I'm not at home, I'm at, like, a school extracurricular. What could I possibly be doing? Like, you haven't... the fact that you are concerned about me of all people is, I don't know, maybe flattering, I guess, in a way. And then, of course, my dad was just, like, on the other side, like, snickering it up, like, he knew the kind of humor, you know, he's probably done that exact same thing to someone else back in his day, I don't know. I don't know, it was a goofy, like, piece of non-drama that happened in my house once, and it was like, I don't know what you want from me here, it's very clear that I have no use for this. And well, if there's any bizarre chance that my mother watches these videos, see, you know I'm not lying, because I wouldn't remember something like that. If I was, I'd just be straight up about that. I'd be like, oh yeah, dude, it was great, I lied. Who doesn't love a good lie every now and then? Either that, or maybe I'm such a constant liar that I've convinced myself. Oh, no. Hey, we didn't even scooch off the edge, which is fantastic. I don't know, this game, it has some issues, but it's also pretty, you know, pretty fun. It's just a couple things that I would take out to maybe ratchet that fun level up a little bit more. I know, there's some people who have this, like, masochistic relationship with video games where they're like, no, it has to be as hard as possible. I'm like, I don't know, man. I like to just kind of chill when I play video games, you know? It's a leisure activity for me. That's not to say that I'm completely opposed to any form of difficulty. No, sometimes if a game is hard and you beat a part that you've been stuck on forever, there's a triumphant feeling about that. But if every single game is the hardest thing ever, then how are you gonna relax, you know? I'm here just to chill, you know? Not like those obnoxious Twitch channels where they're like, hashtag good vibes. It's like, well, yeah. You gonna hashtag bad vibes? You're like, come to this channel if you want to be pissed all the time. I shouldn't blame the people just trying to be optimistic, you know? I should blame the negative people who are just like drama machines. Like, why is Keemstar still a thing? I cannot believe that dude still has a platform. I can't think of somebody who has abused the power of the internet more. Well, I'm sure I can think of something. But it baffles me, you know? It's like, what is the audience for this? How do people really enjoy just seeing people get basically verbally abused all the time? Or just, like, manufactured drama, or it's like, hey, this didn't happen, but we're sure gonna pretend it did. I remember, oh yeah, nah. And now here I am, getting into it and even talking about it. Look at this. But no, I remember, when, the whole offline TV explosion happened, and who was it who got kicked out of the house? Was it Ludwig? And he tried to, like, paint some of the other people in the house as being more... What am I looking for? Like, more, like, manipulative than him or something like that, and... Of course... The further people got in that, like, investigating those claims, it was like, oh wow, it's all bullshit. Always has been. Go figure. But, of course, you had your drama channels that were just, like, reporting on it, and they're like, so turns out the other members of the house were actually bad the whole time. And then, the problem with reporting stuff like that is people start to believe it. Because, for some reason, these drama channels, they're like cults of personality, and people will listen to them. No matter what faulty schlock they quote-unquote report. It's like, I don't know, man, use your powers for good, not evil. It's like the most basic superhero moral ever. If you've ever read a comic book, yeah, it's like the first thing that they tell you. With great power comes great responsibilities. Get it out of here! Despawn already! Okay, no, it did despawn, but then it spawned right there immediately again. 1 block left! I can't believe this. I think that just happens if you, like, stay on one plane for too long. Wow, yeah, that was literally the final block. I can't believe that. I can, in a way. You know, I'm here like, wow, how could they do such a thing? And I'm like, well, it's an NES game. Imagine if The Last of Us Part 2 did that. Wouldn't get so many Game of the Year awards then, would it? Now you're probably gonna ask me, oh, what did you think about The Last of Us 2? Do you think it was overrated? And I will tell you, I have not played it. I didn't even beat the first one. I plan on going back and beating the first one at some point, don't get me wrong. It's not like I thought the first one sucked, so I put it down or I never played it again. No, that's not what I'm saying. I just never got around to it, you know? I played it a bit when I was rooming with a friend. He had it on his PS3, and then I did something else with my time. And I never saw the ending of The Last of Us 1. So obviously, it makes sense that I did not purchase The Last of Us 2. I would most certainly call that a game that you should probably play the first game before you dabble into the second one. And yes, I already know the big spoiler, the big, X person dies. Can't avoid that. Get out of here, cats. Get out of here, cats! Oh my god, I am so angry right now. Like, the further you stay down there, the more rapidly they spawn, and you're like... Do I need to call an exterminator? The rage pumping through my body right now! I'm trying to think of the games that came out this year that I did play. Valhalla, of the Assassin's Creed variety, of course. Ghost of Tsushima I played. That was a very good game. Cyberpunk, of course, but I have not finished that. That's gonna probably take me some time to finish. I'm doing much better about tracking the games I beat too, because everyone's been like, "Oh, it's the end of the year. What games have you beaten?" And I'm like, I only really started tracking those in August, so that's a good question. Like the first half of the year is just a blur for me. So I think it is for a lot of people, you know, like, hey, remember when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl? Oh wait, that was this year? Actually, hold on, we're gonna just drop off because that makes it very easy to get this entire... Yeah, there we go, there we go. Oh, I jumped too far. That's fine, we just drop like this, and it's all good. Heck, even some of the albums that I listened to from this year, like my album of the year, I thought that it came out in 2019. I was like, well... If you have to ask, my album of the year is Mericognitum and Spectral Lords Wanderers Astrology of the Nine. If you want a 2-hour-long, cosmic atmospheric black metal album, it doesn't get much better. Second best album of the year? Poppy's I Disagree. I know, a metal snob like me choosing I Disagree as, like, their runner-up to album of the year? What is going on? I may be a snob, but I also have a sense of fun, thank you. And I Disagree is a fun album. From start to finish. Listen to Concrete and tell me that it's not just the best thing. I'm sure there are people who, you know, have their issues with it and will be like, no, the album was bad, actually, and I'll tell them, that's perfectly fine if you think that. Not everybody's gotta like all the stuff I do. Not even close. It's like how I'm sure there are people who saw Ghost of Tsushima as just another open world game, which in a way it kind of was, but you know, it's... What makes it so good is the execution. They're like, well, what makes it really that much different from a game like Assassin's Creed? It's like, I don't know, man. It's just, it just does... It does something everybody does, but it does it very, very well. There's not much more that you have to ask for, honestly. Alright. Good stuff. Make it back to this Paris level here. I do truly feel connected to the city. You need a little more momentum to make that work. Look at this. Look how many miles we've driven. Can you despawn, please? Can you, like, despawn for real, though? There we go. Oh, no, I've been on that plane for too long. They started bringing up the barriers and the spikes. No, it's easy to forget. Easy to forget about the horrors that this game puts you through. Oh, come on! It's constant. I just now noticed the animation in the window-like reflections of your car. That's actually a remarkably nice touch for a game of this age. Like, again, it's the kind of thing I literally didn't even notice it until like 59 minutes in. But once I did, I thought, huh, that's some love and attention to detail right there. Alright, well, that's time either way. Oh, sorry, I was 3 seconds off. Oh no. That's a fine game, you know. I don't mean fine as in like, oh, fine wine. I mean like it's fine. Playable. Again, it just has those little issues of murdering you at every turn. Sometimes you can avoid it, but there were a few times where I felt like I just genuinely had no chance, and I was just going to die regardless of what happened. So that always takes a game down a little bit of a notch for me, but either way, it could have been worse. You know, I didn't know what to expect from City Connection. Again, I had never played this game before, but the end result was something that was, yeah, it was fine. So I'll take a fine game. You know, I'll take okay. That's a win for me. So thank you for joining me in an hour of City Connection. Join me tomorrow as we play. Yes, I think I am reading this right. Rambo. Not the same game as Rambo First Blood Part 2 on the Master System, but based on the